Let's start out laying down. Okay, just give yourself a moment to settle into the ground. Feel free to fidget a lot. Okay, one of the things I like to do when I first lay down after a kind of a day of doing things is if you press down into your elbows, you can lift your rib cage up and move it a little further away from your hips, and maybe combined with a little bend in your knees. This will give you a really nice release and a feeling of neutrality in your low back and also in your hips if you have the knees a little bit bent. So you can experiment with making that spine a little longer, smooshing your shoulder blades and kind of tucking them underneath your heart so your chest feels a bit more big and spread open. So take your time fidgeting so that you feel extremely relaxed and heavy. And I think it's so nice to start any kind of practice from a place of surrender and openness and ease. Starting to draw out your breath. Lengthen the inhales, lengthen the exhales. Okay, as you're breathing, consider the luxury of having all this fresh, clean air that we can draw deeply in. Clean, fresh potential, new life. On the exhale, you can completely clean out your lungs. And how often do we really clean the lungs out? Take some time finding your most expansive breath. Feeling a lot of movement in your torso, okay, wrapping around the front of your torso, but also the whole back. Think of moving it as much as possible. Keep the big breath coming through your nose. Soften that jaw, let it hang open. Let your forehead become very big and expansive here, soft between the eyebrows. Feel the sternum and the belly button moving up. And then feel them moving down. And notice your body feeling landscape here. Just with your eyes closed, sense throughout your body from head to toe. Get a general climate and a landscape view of how you're feeling and the sensations you're experiencing. And then also do some flyovers where you really focus in. How do your palms feel right now? Where do you feel your body the most? Your chest, your hips, perhaps? Do some zoning in, noticing what's going on. So let's start to gently wake up your joints and your back especially. So the best way we can wake up a back is from the inside with some great twisting. So we'll start off with some windshield wiper movements in your hips. Just bring your feet close to your hips and then walk the feet away from each other. And I like to pair this movement with some cactus arms, pressing the upper body into the floor firmly so that you feel very rooted up top. And then we can windshield wiper the legs side to side. So this is such a simple movement, but it's great to start with because we're allowing the inner and outer hip to really roll open, gently warm. Feel the low back getting twisted, okay, wrung out. If you like, you can begin to draw the knees downward more firmly, if that feels nice in your low back and your hips. Okay, start to look away from your knees and begin to feel that this twist is not only in your low back now, but it's rolling up through your middle, your upper, and even your cervical spine, even your neck is twisting. So your whole spine getting really wrung out. Now let's deepen this a little bit, and all we're really gonna change is we're gonna pick the feet up. So pause when your knees are pointed up, pick your feet up, and now glue your legs toward each other. So we're gonna keep this, we're just gonna hover the knees on one side, looking away. And hover them on the other side, looking away. I like to inhale through center and exhale in a twist. Inhale and exhale. Keep breathing. Use that strong upper body to keep yourself rooted. Okay, rooting on your upper body, we can mobilize more in the lower. Okay, next time you have your knees coming through center, pause and plant your feet by your hips. Okay, you can put a little bit of a distance between your feet. As a matter of fact, hip distance for your knees and your feet would be great. And then put some engagement between your legs. So you're attempting to draw your legs toward each other like there's a big, thick book between your legs and you're trying to hold the big, thick book. Okay, about as thick as a big dictionary. Okay, and you can keep your hands out to the side if you like for kind of a back massage kind of feeling. And we're gonna start to do some bridges. So inhaling, lift your hips up. And exhaling, roll your hips down. We're thinking of lifting one vertebra at a time to come up and replacing one at a time on the way down. Keep that big dictionary between your knees. You're still holding it. And keep your nose pointed straight up, allowing your cervical spine to remain neutral. So the back of the neck never touches down. So feel your glutes engaging, feel your core working. Okay, holding at the top. Let's pause here and hold up here. Breathing, hold that big book between your knees. Think about pointing your tailbone at your knees, really lighting up your glutes, your hamstrings. Okay, and then maybe even you could lift your chest a tiny bit away off the floor. So we're gonna play around and we're gonna kind of mix this up and see how we feel about this. So take one more big breath in. And one last big exhale, drawing those knees inward. This time, as you inhale, slowly roll your spine down. So that's different. We were exhaling down before. Big breath in. This time, when you exhale, I want you to curl your spine up off the floor. Reach past your knees. You're doing like a yoga crunch. Inhale back to the floor. And exhale, press your hips up. Now let's play around with this little pattern. Inhale, hips down. Exhale, curl head and shoulders up, crunch inward towards your knees. Exhale, roll it down. Inhale, hips up. Okay, so keep going. We want to exhale on that crunch. So we're feeling the back of the body and the front body lighting up here, really waking up your torso. So feel free to make it super slow and super strong. Let's do 3 more rounds. Two more. Last one. Okay, go ahead and hold next time you're in that crunch. Just hold it right there. So we're gonna get the neck nice and long. If you notice any creases on any side of your neck, go ahead and lengthen it with a slight tuck in your chin. Notice how your low back is on the floor right now. Your abs are working. So I want you to really use your abs. Pull your belly button down to the ground. See if you could lift one of your feet up and point the toes at the front of your space. Try the other one. Hold and breathe. Wrap that belly button down toward the floor. Let's take 3 more long, slow breaths here. If you want less challenge, bring your knees closer to you. If you want more challenge, bring your knees further away from you, extending them. 1 more breath. Very nice. At the end of your exhale, draw your knees in towards your chest. Release your head and shoulders to the floor. And maybe we'll take some hip circles here, just making circles, one hand on each knee. So hopefully noticing some nice warmth all over your torso here. Rewind your hip circles. Okay, knees are together. Tuck your hands behind them, and we're gonna rock it up. See if you could just cross your ankles and roll over to hands and knees here. So let's get started with some cat-cows, and we're gonna begin to get the back a little warmer. We're gonna add something we don't normally add to cat-cows, and that's the right leg as kind of a tail. So thinking of keeping your right hip nice and level with your left. Also remember to lift that belly into your spine so you're engaging your abdominal musculature to keep your low back safe, okay? So keep that back safe, please. Strong belly. And then on your inhales, just like you would in a cow posture, you're gonna pull on the mat. Think of pulling your heart between your arms and see if you could send that right toe toward the back of your head, keeping your strong belly. As you exhale, pull the right knee into your nose. So let's do that again. Inhale, pull the heart forward, cow posture, right toe to your head. Exhale, cat posture, right knee to nose. Keep going, keep breathing. Notice the back body working when you draw that toe towards your head. Okay, you notice the back body stretching open when we draw the knee toward the forehead. Let's do it 3 more times. Two more. Last one, here it is. Bring the toe toward the head, bring the knee toward the head, and hold. We're gonna play with this little crunchy shape here. So you can always take a break, but I wanna challenge you to keep that knee in, keep your core strong. What if you balanced on that left kneecap? You can bend the left knee, point the left toes up, okay? You're balancing on the kneecap. See if you could come up on your left fingertips here and maybe reach forward or out to the side with your left hand. And just balance on your right hand and your left knee for 3, 2. It's challenging. It's okay to wobble and fall. And 1. Let it go. We'll do the other side now. So let's get the left leg out behind, bend at the knee. Tuck that left hip under nicely. Strong belly muscles all around your low back. Very safe and strong. Same thing as the other side. Inhale, pull that heart forward. Left toes move towards your head. And exhale, left knee to your nose. Maybe do this with your eyes closed, just finding a little rhythm. Noticing your strong back body. Building heat as you use that back tissue. Let's do 3 more. Notice your glutes working, the big sheets of muscle and all the little muscles on the back. 2. Last one. Next time we come knee to nose, hold here. Okay, try this side. Let's bend the right knee, balance on the right kneecap. Come up on the right fingertips and see if you could reach them forward. Hold and breathe. It's okay to fall. Floor is right there. Keep breathing. Find that core strength. 3. Strong belly in. 2. And 1. Let it go. All right, tuck your toes here. We're gonna lift the knees. Go ahead and walk all the way to your feet. Walk all the way to your hands. All right, walk to your hands and just shake it out. Let your head hang. Maybe sway side to side by bending one knee, bending the other knee. And find some nice release in your spine and your low back here as you just hang. Shake your head. Okay, you've been rocking side to side. Put your fingers down in front of you. Keep a nice bent knee and rock forward and back. Weight on the toes, weight on the heels, toe, heel. Okay, now find a perfect center here where you're weighted equally. And inhale, rolling yourself all the way up. Reach up tall here, lift your heart. Let's do a side bend. So with your exhale, just lean, reaching out to one side. Just pick one. Inhale, back up to center. Other side, big exhale, reaching. Inhale, back to center. This time with your exhale, make cactus arms. Drive your cactus arms down your back and lift your heart. Inhale, back up. And exhale, fold it. We're coming all the way back down. Palms are down. Inhale here, stepping it back to a plank. Exhale here, all the way down. Coming up to a little cobra. So on your inhale, drive that tailbone downward, pull on your mat and lift your heart. Exhale here, find the downward facing dog. So take a few little walkouts here, a few little side to side, shake your head. Okay, I want to take that kind of little mini flow we just did and just do it a couple more times to build warmth in your body and just some fluidity and spaciousness in your joints. So here we go. Go ahead and tiptoe or walk to your hands, just like we did before. Ground your heels and start to walk side to side, forward and back. Okay, your feet are about hip distance. I want you to feel that your feet are very active on the floor. You have active toes. You might lift your toes and then set them down one at a time. Lift your arches. Think of the 4 corners of each foot. And then as you're ready, we'll roll it up again. Inhale, coming up. Exhale to one side. This time you might interlace your fingers and flip your palms out to the side. Strong belly. Inhale back up to center. Strong belly as you exhale the other way. Inhale back to center. This time separate your hands. Do a cactus as you drop your shoulder blades and lift your heart. Inhale back up to center and exhale. We're going to fold it again. Okay, palms are down. Inhale, step it back through a plank shape. And again, with your exhale, lower down, elbows into ribs. Here comes another little cobra. Inhale, tailbone down, heart peels up. Maybe you peel up a little more this time with your strong back. And exhale, come on down. You might use hands and knees to come up to a down dog. Okay, take a couple breaths here. We'll do one more round just like that. Okay, building some more heat in your back. So walk to your hands. Take some time just rocking. You might grab your elbows here and really, really swing. You may even join your hands behind you and move your hands away. Great shoulder stretch in the front. Okay, equal weight in both feet. Inhaling here, start to roll it up. This time you might grab your elbows as you exhale to the side. Lift that belly in. Inhale back through center. Exhale, other side. Inhale to center. Exhale, cactus. Separate your arms, drop your shoulders, lift your heart. Inhale back up to center and exhale, fold it. Palms are down. Inhale to your plank. Knees down is an option, okay? And exhale all the way down. Inhale for another cobra. Lift that heart. And exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take 5 or 6 breaths here in downward facing dog. You close your eyes, notice how you're feeling. Now that we're a bit warmer, we can start to really refine this shape. So we can start to push through the hands, pull back through the feet. Okay, think of lengthening your spine to the best of your ability. Okay, pointing that tailbone straight away from the top of your head. And then engagement cues are also helpful for me. So if you think about pulling the elbows inward toward each other, hopefully you'll feel your shoulder blades kind of slide down your back and your neck get long and soft. And you can do the same with your knees. You can think of pulling your legs toward each other. That same feeling as when I was asking you to pretend like you were holding a big, thick dictionary between your knees. You gotta squeeze them inward. So notice how your down dog responds to all those things, and then we'll keep on moving. So inhaling here, let's get that right leg up and out behind. Exhale here, draw that right knee inward towards your chest. See if you could softly float it to the floor between your hands. Okay, it's okay if it's more of a step than a float. Go ahead and drop the back knee, and we'll come on up to a low lunge here. Okay, so take your time setting your low lunge up. It's such a useful posture. I think it's very versatile. So if you ever need a break, you can always make it really gentle and just put your hands down on the floor, okay? No matter where you are in your low lunge, up or down, you're going to need to use some kind of engagement and some kind of activity in your legs. Okay, we don't want to be passive, right? So actively press down into both legs, push the floor away from you, and then slightly pull them in toward each other. And that's gonna get us into this lunge and allow us to experience it more effectively. So we're gonna turn it into a twist. Go ahead and open your arms out wide and turn out to the right. And breathe right here. Activating, pushing the floor away, reaching out, fingertips away from each other. Hold and breathe. Allow that right shoulder to pull back. Maybe you look back at the right hand. Left fingers shoot forward away from the right. Push that floor. So I want to take 3 more long, slow breaths here, kind of experimenting with holding a pose for kind of a long time. So just keep reminding yourself, active in the legs, remember to activate, strong in the belly, and open in the heart. And as you're ready, we can open up the heart and strengthen the back a little bit more here by reaching that right hand behind. You can either put it on the floor if that makes sense. You can put it on the back of your left thigh, but see if you can grab somewhere left thigh to floor behind you and start to reach that left hand overhead. So you're peeling open your chest. You can continue to look to the right, or you can think of lifting up your heart, so more of a back bend feeling. Big breath here. Remember to push the floor down. Lift your heart up. Okay, and this movement can be a really gentle one. You can even just be using your right leg to grab, okay, and just moving your chest a little bit open. So feel free to find kind of a spectrum that you can slide on. One more breath here. And let's let it go. Go ahead and drop your hands down in front. Whew. Let's bring it back to hands and knees. And then up to a downward facing dog. Come on up. Walk out those heels. Shake your head. So let's do the other side, okay? Inhaling here, left leg up and out behind. Send it nice and high. Exhaling here, left foot floats down onto the floor between your hands. Drop the right knee. And use that left leg to press yourself up. So same thing, other side. Okay, we want to warm your back body, okay, as it peels open your front body. So before we go anywhere, we need to make a nice base. So push the floor down with your legs. Try to draw them toward each other. Find your strong belly is kind of wrapping inward from all sides. Okay, and you feel like you can lift your sternum up by dropping your shoulder blades down. And we're going to spin and start to look out to the left. Then I'll spin around to face you because we're going to take several breaths here. Okay, opening your arms wide, keep breathing. Push the floor down. Reach into the back hand, reach into the front hand. Okay, the deeper you breathe here, the bigger the massage that your whole back, torso, chest is getting. So find those huge breaths. A few more breaths right here, just twisting. And if you need a break, you can always put 1 or 2 hands on the floor, okay? It's still a twist if you have 1 hand on the floor. So feel free to take that option. Okay, we're beginning to send that left hand back, and we can just reach back. Maybe you touch the floor, you touch your right thigh. You might even just put the hand on your hip, okay? But somewhere behind you with that left hand, and we'll start to reach the right arm up. So you can take more of a twisty movement here, twisty action, or you can have it more of a heart lifting, heart opening back bend action. So you decide. Wherever you are, breathe and push that floor. Allow that back to get nice and warm here. One more big breath right here. And let's let it go. So drop your hands down in front of you. Let's bring it back to hands and knees. And I'll meet you in a downward facing dog. Walk it out here. And after we use that strong back, it's always good to come back and just neutralize with a little bit of core engagement. So we'll do a few plank dogs here. And that just means with your inhale, you're going to shift forward into a plank. I like to come halfway down when I do that, just for a little extra spice. You might try that too. With your exhale, press it back to a dog. Let's just take a few. Inhale to plank. Exhale to dog. Keep the belly button inward toward the spine. Again, inhale, plank. Exhale, dog. Let's do 3 more. Inhale. And you can do this with your knees down, by the way, and I'm showing you what that might look like. 2 more. Last one, inhale. And exhale. I'll meet you in a downward facing dog. Walk it out. Okay, we've created some nice heat in your back body, some great twisting, some great core work. And now it behooves us to get a little bit stretchy. So we'll start to do that. So with your inhale, right leg up and out behind. Exhale here, right knee forward. Go ahead and drop it between your hands. So coming up to a low lunge like we did before. But this time, I want to bring palms together. Take this left elbow to the outside of the right knee and use that right knee to twist and look over your shoulder. So I'll spin around to face you here. So we'll take a few long, slow breaths here. If this is too much, you know that you can put one or two hands down. But activate those legs against the floor. Breathe. So we want hands by the heart, right? So do your best to lift your heart up to where your hands are and press your hands down to where your heart is. And if you need to make this gentle, you can make it gentle. If you're looking for a real nice back twist and maybe a little bit more spice, you can start to press the knee and the elbow into each other, the connected left elbow and right knee. And or you can tuck the right or the left toes, that's the back toes, and lift the left knee. And I like to think of lifting the kneecap as far as I can from the floor. So wherever you are, keep breathing here. Whew. It's balancy. So there are just a couple fun options I'll give you here just because we're here and I like having fun options. If you're feeling pretty good, you can open your arms wide, tickle the floor with your left fingertips and reach up with your right. And that's just going to deepen your twist that much more. And if you're really looking for some deep twistiness and some good spice, you can tuck that right elbow, sorry, that's a left elbow, really low on the outside of your right leg. Use your right hand to push your left hand under your thigh. And then you can reach the right hand behind your back to find your friend. So this is a nice deep twist, and you're going to want some big breath. Big inhales, big exhales. 3 more. Long spine. Last one. Whatever you did, come out slowly, the way you came in. And I'll meet you with both hands down under your shoulders. Whew, that was a really spicy, good stretch. So take a moment to rock your hips back and forward. You can come up on your fingertips here, doing your best to keep a long spine. So great work twisting. We really massage the whole back body when we do that. I want to encourage you to keep that big breath involved anytime we're twisting, along with a sense of length in the spine. Okay, we're going to do the other side. So back on your palms, back to hands and knees. Come up through a down dog for just a moment. Walk it out. Maybe you notice a difference between your right and your left leg. I sure do. Let's do that left side. So inhaling here, left leg up and out behind you. Exhale, left foot floats forward and sits between your hands. Let's drop that right knee and come on up. So find your same low lunge that you did before, hopefully a little warmer, a little more easeful. Engage against the floor, engage the knees toward each other. But now we're adding a different element, palms together, right knee, right elbow to the outer left knee. And you're twisting to look over that left shoulder. So let's breathe here. Okay, more than likely, you're going to feel some pops and some adjustments in your spine and your hips here. And that's okay, just breathe with it. So we can keep this right here if this is enough. And if this is more of a gentle practice you're wanting today, you can always put 1 or 2 hands down, of course, okay? But I'll just keep going through the spectrum so you can play around with options. Okay, if you have your hands close to your heart and it feels pretty good, you're lifting that heart. feels spacious, okay? You can still breathe. Then you'll start to really press the right elbow and the left knee into each other. Okay, if that's going well, you can start to tuck the right toes, that's the back toes, and lift the back knee. So if you do that, think of engaging your right quadricep so that right kneecap is lifting, and maybe you drop into your hips a little more. All right, remember to have fun with it. Not all the options are gonna be for you today. Some days, and some days they will. So maybe opening your arms wide is where you want to go with it. Okay, kind of a challenge to balance in this one. Those legs have to work. Okay, maybe you like this really funky option where you bend the right elbow and you reach underneath your left thigh. I like to use the left hand to put it there. And then the left hand reaches behind your back. And you can find its friend. Hold and breathe. Push the floor. Big breath. Let this twist work for you. All right, maybe one more breath here. Come out slowly, the same way you came in. Whew, that's a powerful one. Drop your hands under your shoulders here. We're gonna rock the hips back and forth. Feel the back of the left leg. It should be really warm. Okay, we hold a lot of tension in the backs of our legs. Okay. Next time you come forward, pause, and we'll make it back to hands and knees. Again, come on back. All right, from here, okay, we're really nicely set up, and it should feel really nice if we just take a quick puppy pose here, a little open heart posture. So with your knees under your hips, you can just walk your hands out, maybe drop your forehead to start. And just start to breathe. Imagine your heart melting open toward the floor. Take deep breaths into your armpits and your rib cage, and maybe eventually you feel like you could more comfortably rest your chin on the floor with a very long neck. So you're doing your best to drop the shoulders away from your ears. Maybe eventually you'd like to press your fingertips down and lift your palms and your elbows. And then you can think about dropping the heart a little closer to the floor. Remember to keep that long neck and a slight tuck in your tailbone, like you wanted to point it down maybe. Open heart posture, so great for peeling open tension in your chest and your throat. We hold a lot of tension there. Okay, start to walk the hands back in. Take your time. As you're ready, sit your hips to one side, okay? And then bring your bottoms of your feet together. So we're headed into a Bada Konasana. But I want to play around with a little kind of a funky variation, okay? So I want to start out with a little bit of a challenge, okay? We don't have to go crazy with it, but sit up nice and tall. And make sure your feet are the right distance away from you. They're not too close, not too far, okay? And I want you to just start to press your feet into each other. It might not feel like you're doing much or like much is happening, but just keep breathing and trying to press your feet together. Okay, notice what muscles working. You might feel some activity in your upper leg, around your thigh and your hips. You might feel your core engaging as you do that. 3 more breaths. Press the feet together. 2 more. Last one. All right, relax that effort. And now we're gonna slightly stagger the feet. So bring your right foot in a little closer to you so that your right toes are kind of stepping on your left heel. And your feet are pretty lined up, straight one after the other. Drop your fingers either on the side of you if you're feeling like this is as far forward as you want to go, or if you want to lean more forward, you can take your fingers in front of you. And I just want you to relax your knees downward, almost like you're trying to draw your knees downward toward the ground. And think of pressing your hips into the floor. So you can even use your fingers to push your hips down and lengthen your spine over your feet. Go ahead and drop your head if you like, but keep a long neck, please. And keep those hips pushing to the ground. Keep the hands pushing the floor. I want you to feel big spaciousness across your whole back. So we used this back, we warmed it, we strengthened it, we twisted it. Now we just get to relax and spread all of it out. You might enjoy resting your forehead in your hands here, if that's a nice option. You might also just rest your forehead on your foot. And one more breath with that low back really or that hips really grounded. Feels good in the low back. I'm gonna start to walk your hands back in. Okay, we'll just switch sides. So we'll take the right foot back to be further away from you, and we'll bring the left foot in to be a little closer to you. So the left toes are stepping on your right heel. So same thing here. You can just sit up straight if this feels like enough. But if you want, you can lean into it. But I do want to encourage you, if you're leaning forward especially, push the floor with your hands. Ground those hips, okay? It's really easy to forget about that. I catch myself forgetting, but we have to get the hips down. Long spine inhale. Heavy hips exhale. Breathe into all the tissues of the back body, not just from your hips up, but also in the back of your legs, your glutes, the back of your neck, maybe even the top of your head. You feel a gentle stretch at the base of your skull. And start to press yourself back up and in. Okay, from here, if you take both legs out in front of you and give them a little shake, notice how those hips are feeling. And maybe we take a few windshield wipers here. Okay, and let's seal the practice off with a nice little twist just to recalibrate and cool you down. So if you tuck your hands behind your knees, you can just roll down. Okay, take some cactus arms here. And we'll take a few side to sides with the knees. Hover to one side, hover to the other side. Find some nice breath with it. Exhale and twist. Inhale through center. Notice if you feel more mobile in your spine now that we did so much work in the back and the torso. Should be feeling a little more open in the twist, a little more easeful. Next time you drop your knees out to one side, any side, just let them fall, okay? Maybe use that same side hand to grab the top knee and gently press it down. And then we'll look away from the knees, of course. Breathing deeply. Use the inhales to lift and spread your chest. And the exhales to strengthen the belly muscles inward. Maybe one more big breath here. Let's bring the legs through, drop them on the other side, and we'll just do the same thing, opposite direction. So maybe the closed hand grabs the top knee on that side. Then we look out to the other side, away from the knee. Find your breath. Inhale to lift and spread your chest. Exhale, belly button to spine. One more breath. Bring it back into center. And release your legs out long. Okay, you can find a Shavasana now, okay, or your any favorite resting posture that you like. Whatever posture you choose to rest in. Allow your breath and your body to return to their wild and free state. So no longer controlling or activating or resisting anything at all. Just allowing your muscles to be completely at ease. No doing. Allow your breath to be completely wild. Just no control over it. Just notice the new natural state post practice. Do another body scan, noticing the large landscape. Okay, what's the big picture view of how you're feeling, your body sensations. But also zoom in on the details, especially places that you maybe felt tension or congestion or discomfort in the beginning of the class, this practice. Anything changed? And no matter what you observe, look with compassion and file that information away for later. And just enjoy this moment. Observe the rise and fall of your chest. The little sounds of your environment right now. maybe cultivating a sense of gratitude today for this practice. We have so much to be grateful for. Just the opportunity to be still and practice. Such a luxury. So please keep resting just like this for as long as you can. The longer, the better. Thanks so much for joining me. This is where I'll leave you today.